Okay, let's start solving the challenge problem for chapter 8. So the first question, 8.49. So the midpoint of the segment connecting these 2 points is x and y. Express y in terms of x. Okay, so if we have 2 points, right, this is the A and B, and so the other one is the B is here, A is here. It's B and A. If you are familiar with that, you can basically these 2 points are symmetry to this line. Okay, so now you can symmetry to this 45 angle degrees. Let's try to solve the midpoint. Okay, so the midpoint, okay, let's draw this is the B and A, this is the A and B, right? So you can see the midpoint is landing somewhere here, right? So this point is A and A, right? So you can see here is the midpoint between here is this is the B minus A over 2. That's this line. Okay, so that's why the midpoint is half of the first point. I call this point is P, this point is Q, P and Q. So the midpoint basically is the connecting with the ratio is 1 and 1. So 1/2 of the P plus half of the Q. Now let's put in is half of the A and B plus half of the B and A is equal to half of the A plus B and half of the B plus A. So you can see this x equals y, right? That means this one is really here, is equal to the y equal x. The midpoint is here. Okay, because they are, this is the reflection line. They are P and Y are symmetry to this 45-degree line. So number 50. So this one is pretty simple. Let me explain from the from the number line. So here is 0, it's 1, 2, 3, right? So against 3 we need 4, right? So we need 4 here, and 4 goes to here. So you can see it's 4 and 4 the distance because it's x minus 3. So that's why we have -1 here and 7 here. So in order for the algebra, you can see the x minus 3 equals 4 means equivalently is x minus 3 equals -4, or x minus 3 equals 4. Then you get the x equals the -1 or x equals 7. Next, so a line passing through the point, okay, has a slope. So let's see and how to calculate a line if the slope given a line. If I give you 2 points, okay, if I give you the P and the Q, here is the x1, y1, and here is the x2, y2, right? So the slope is defined by this angle alpha, right? So we can define here is the delta y, here is the delta x. So the slope is tangent angle is equal to the delta y over delta x. So basically is the difference of the 2 points of the y, y2 minus y1 divided by x2 minus x1. So in this case, okay, in this case, so the k is equal to a plus 3 is equal to y2 minus y1. Okay, let's see, this is the q, this is the p, and xq my x2 minus x1. Okay, so this one is equal to the 2a. So now we can solve a equals 3. Okay. Next, the two lines with a non-zero slope and the same y-intercept have the property the sum of the slope is the 0. So what is the sum? Let's keep draw something. Okay, let's see what happens here. So they mention the slope. So one line is slope is mx, let's see, plus b. So here is the 0 and b, right? So one line is like this. Okay, so this is the y equal mx plus b. Then it mentioned the sum of their slope is 0, right? So means the other line is negative mx plus b, right? So their slope at get is 0. So it's also parsing this one. But it's negative, right? Okay, if you understand the slope basically is this angle, okay? And the other slope is this angle. Okay? So you can see based on this, the slope, the positive and negative, you can see this one is 180 minus alpha, if you are very familiar with it. So this is the isosceles triangle. But if this is the isosceles triangle, okay, so here is the slope of the first, we call the x10, and here is the x20. So we know the x1, the distance, equals to the x2, the distance, and the x1 less than 0, x2 greater than 0. So that's why you can say x1 plus x2 is equal 0. Next, okay, to let you to prove this one, right? So I mean, square root of x equals to y. This y must be greater or equal than 0, right? So now let's see, if x greater or equals than 0, then square root of x is equal to x. If x is less than 0, then square root of x squared is negative x, okay? So that's why this one equal x absolute value, this one equal absolute value. That's the reason. Okay, so Bob pumped his head and okay, he write the point, the coordinates, right? So Bob write the swap all the coordinates, and the problem in his textbook is this. So now let's see. So let's draw this line. So the plot in his textbook is parsing the 0, 2, right? And if shift x change 1 or y change 3, so here is the 1, 5. Okay, so this is the textbook. Okay, so here is the line of his textbook. Okay, now Bob always swap it, right? For this coordinates, Bob swap to the 2 of 0. For this one, Bob swap to the 5 and 1. Okay, so remember when there is I think is number 50, we already talk about it. So this is the symmetry, right? The symmetry, the symmetry line is y equal to the x. Okay, so now you can see the slope of this, right? So the slope, the new slope is k equal to 1 minus 0 and 5 minus 2, right? This is the equal delta y. This is equal delta x is equal to 1/3. Okay, so this new line is y minus 0 equal 1/3 x minus 2. Okay, and we can write as the x equal 3y plus 2. Okay, so the old line new old is y equal 3x plus 2, right? So you can see it basically the Bob swapped the x and the y, right? That's how he did. So for question number C, you can see if he tries to draw a line. Okay, so Bob tries to draw a line with for example is the m is mx plus b, right? Okay, now the new line, the true line. Okay, this is the Bob. He tries to graph. Okay, this is the Bob tried to. Then he end up with x equal my plus b, right? So it is the y equals 1 over mx minus b. Okay, now you can see the two coefficients. K1 is m, K2 is 1 over m, right? And now you can see if one is like this, the other will be like this. Okay, the symmetry line is y equal x. So if you're getting one line on the x-axis, okay, if Bob trying to draw one line here, right? For example, Bob want to draw y equals p, and the symmetry line will be x equals p. Okay, so this is the line he wants to draw, end up this is the line he did. Okay, all this there is a very, very important thing is once you swap the x and the y, this is the symmetry line, y equals x. It's called diagonal symmetric. Next, okay, suppose to the R and S. Let me draw something here. Okay. So we have the xy coordinates. So it's 3 and 5, 3 and 5, and 5. This is the R, and the 8 of -3 is S. Okay, so we have the R and S. Okay, so we want to find on this line, we want to find that on this line segment, right, that is 3 times as far as R as it is from the S. Okay, so basically is we want to find a P, we want to find the PR is 3 times as PS. Okay, so I will tell you there are 2 points here. One point is here, very easy to understand. 1, right? Okay, here is a very important thing. Okay, like if I give you if you still remember the midpoint, the first question, if I give you the PQ, right, I want to solve the middle one, right? So the ratio here is 1 over 1, right? So we write 1, 1, okay? And the 1 plus 1 is 2, right? So we basically is half weight applied to the P plus half weight applied to the coordinates of the Q. Then we get the coordinates of the M, okay? This is the same thing. Let's see, okay? So here is the 3 and the 1, right? So P is in the middle. So let's put the weight 3 and the weight 1. The total weight is 4, right? So 4, 3 and 4, 1. Let's see. So basically P is close to S, right? So we need to weight more on the S. And then we weight less on the R. Then we get the coordinates of the P. Okay, for the second one, okay, I need to give you a little, it's a little not that straightforward, okay. I will explain in second picture, okay. So here you can see is 3, yes, and here it is 1, right? Because this one goes this direction and this direction, right? This one goes to opposite direction, so you basically we put the 3 and the negative 1, so the total weight is 2, so that's 2, 2, and you can see we close to S. That's why we want to win more on S and win less than on the R. That's our point of the Q. Okay, now let's solve the P. Okay, the P equals to is the 4/3 of the 8 and negative 3 plus the 1/4 of the 3 and 5. That's equals to the, so it's 27/4, and the other one is negative 9 and negative 1, and this one is 2/3 of the 8 or negative 3 minus 1 of 2 is 3 and 5 is equal to the 24 is 21/2. The other one is negative 9, negative 5 is negative 7. Okay, so I think this is right. So now let's explain this one a little bit to you, okay? Yeah, I need to explain this one a little bit to you. Okay, so you can see if this is the R, this is the S, right? We want to find the Q. Okay, so here we want to find the Q, right? So we want to find the 3 to 1, right? So the RQ is 3t and the QS is t, right? So now this is the t, this is the 2t, right? Let's find the R prime, okay? So let's find the R prime symmetry to the S, okay? So let's find the R, this is t. So let's find the RS equal to R prime S. Okay, then you can see basically the Q, right? The Q is the midpoint. It's 2t. It is 3t, right? And the symmetry to S is 2t and 2t. So Q is midpoint of S and R prime, right? How to solve the R prime? Remember, R prime plus R over 2 equal point S. So R prime equal to the 2S minus R, right? Okay, the Q is the midpoint, right? So Q is half of the S plus half of the R prime. So it is equal to half of the s plus half of the 2s minus r. So it is 3/4 of the s minus means 3 over 2 times s minus 1 over 2 of the r. Okay, this is how this equation comes from. Okay.